Hey, yo, Vinny, tell him to make that TV blink.
The 1964 Chevrolet Impala. Named after the largest African gazelle for its speed, grace, fine lines, and dominance of the road. The Chevy Impala is unquestionably an automotive classic. Even today, the Impala continues to satisfy the auto world's appetite for classic cars. It's no wonder why Chevrolet took the name. Watching this beauty coast down a street is like watching a work of art in motion.
Impala, first of all, it's the finest thing I've seen come out of Detroit in engineering. So I'm fascinated by the 64 Chevrolet because that's the last year they made an X-frame. That's the last year they put a full-size two-door together. That's the last year they had the big bumpers. You know, that's the last year for the metal dashes. There's a lot of stuff for the last year.
It is with the Chevrolet Impala that we bring you the rise of the lowrider, a cultural phenomenon that has spawned an entire lifestyle that today reaches coast to coast.
The Impala is such a cool car because just the whole big body, full-size car. They had, the muscle car aspect with the big motors, put out the horsepower. It's about being able to lounge in a car. You got these guys with these little Civics that it's like, you're sitting all scrunched up in it, and you get in a big body and you're like laid back and just having a good time.
Yeah.
It's a 1964 convertible. Took it a couple lowrider shows. Got some trophies, first, second, running up. I actually had a green one before that, and I sold it and I got this one. I would say I probably had it for like 5 years. Bought it and I'm gonna keep it forever for my kids, so And it's a good car, man. Got it switched up. And just like to ride.
Lowriding first surged in the late 40s. Rooted deep in parts of California and the Midwest, it has long been a rebel movement since its inception. Enthusiasts modified their cars by installing hydraulic valves and custom suspension systems. The goal? To make the automobile look like it was hugging the ground. As Lewis here works on the hydraulics of this 1961 Impala, it is interesting, if you think about it, just how far this car has traveled in 45 years.
Well, for now, I'm down to one Impala. At one point, I had 3.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All 64s?
64, a 65, and a 68.
It's like you're cruising around in a jet, corporate jet at 35 miles an hour. That's the attention you get.
In South Florida, the Impala continues to attract fans from diverse cultures and backgrounds, often uniting them under a hood or around a tire. There's a lot to be said about the individuals who bring these classics to life.
My favorite car is the 61 Impala.
Oh, Impala, man. It's where it's at, man. Gotta have an old player, man.
So why the attraction to this automobile? What is it about this machine that drives people to go to such lengths? Prepare to meet the individuals that continue to carry on this tradition. They will bring you into their backyards, their garages. They will spend countless years laboring over these machines, stopping only when the picture they have painted in their minds has come to life. For some, it is a labor of love, others an addiction. For us on the East Coast, it's just another Flo Rida.
Right here, you can see it crow feeded. Crow feed, that's when the paint gets old and it starts the reaction underneath the paint with the metal and it causes the paint to separate. That means the metal is actually rusting below the paint. So we're gonna have to go ahead and the only way to fix that is to take it down to the bare metal.
Rather than focusing on lowrider history, we will emphasize on the present and the future of these dynamic machines. The stories to follow are a raw, uncut, unpolished look at what lowriding in South Florida is all about.
The hardest thing was probably the body work and the paint. And that's what I do, and that was the hardest part of it was that, because the thing was trashed. And I'm picky, so I was spent a lot of time on it.
I got this because when I saw Friday and Big Worm with the orange 61 convertible, I was like, I gotta have one of those. I gotta have one of those. I've always been partial to Fords, Mustangs for all my race cars and stuff like that. But this, as soon as I saw Big Worm, I was like, I gotta have a 61. I gotta have a 61. 61 is actually the hardest one to find parts for. I found out the hard way also.
I first started getting into cars when I was like 18, 19. And I had a old Mustang, and nobody I knew how to work on cars. And my car would break down, and I'd take it to a mechanic, some shady mechanic, and he'd, charge me out the ass for parts, and the car wouldn't be fixed right. And, I didn't know anything about cars, but it pissed me off enough that I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do it. So, I had to learn everything I know, I had to learn the hard way.
Where do you buy most of your parts at?
Actually, everything I saved on this one, I saved everything. Like the quarters were all rotted out, around here. And actually, this is where most of the rust happens because, the way the wheel spins, so it throws all the water and mud back here, and they get rotted out back there. So this is all handmade all along here. I probably got about 20 hours in each quarter straightening them out.
Yeah, well, my wife doesn't like it because she's saying, it calls the attention. Every time that we go somewhere with it, we can never be alone or something because somebody will get, close to us and start asking questions about the car. I mean, it's not that she doesn't like it, she likes it, but she doesn't want to be in it with me when I go to shows, or because she knows that I love this tradition, low riding, and she doesn't want to be bothering me, like be on the way. So it's better she knows that I love this.
Cool, man.
If it's a frame off, they'll want 12 or more.
12 or better.
If it's
12
not,
or better.
No.
Zoom in on
They're trying to break in and they're trying to buy the car.
They're trying to steal it.
It's a really nice car.
Definitely under the 10 digits.
Bird and some friends get a tip about a 1950s automobile on the side of the road that may be a perfect addition to Bird's collection. Careful inspection of the car is essential. Rust, alignment, and paint are all characteristics that must be considered when you deal with a car that is half a century old.
How much you asking for it? You're asking 8 and the price is negotiable, huh? Is it frame off restored or is this original? It's all original, huh? How long have you owned it? Have you checked the serial numbers on it to see how many of them were put into like circulation? I got a because the reason I'm asking, I got a 53. Did you do the body work in the back and all that stuff, or? Yeah. This is all done when you got it? What what are you looking for cash? If 8,000 negotiable, what are you looking for cash? 7,000, you'll take 7,000 for it? Okay, let me talk it over with one of my friends. He says it's original. He says he only owned it for a year.
Did he bought it like that?
Yeah, his friend owned it for 2 years and he bought it like that. There's Bondo and everything on the side, over there on the other side I could see where they patched some patches. There's some rust on it. It's not frame off restored. You know, the whole thing is really faded. It looks like a Mako paint job to me, to tell you the truth. Like I said, man, if you really wanted to clean it up, you probably could. If you want to take it and throw some D's on it and put some juice in it, it'd be a nice little cruiser, I'd probably say. But
See the motor?
you know, it's pretty clean. The motor is clean and all. You know, for someone to restore it, you're looking at another good, you know, you gotta throw 20 grand into it. So do you really want to spend 25 grand for a bomb? Then this is what you're looking for.
Bird first arrived on the lowriding scene in South Florida in 1984. His cars have been displayed in magazines and have won awards across the country.
If I knew you was making a movie, I would have had it clean for you. So you can, you know what I'm saying? Let them see how we living. This South Florida, baby, the dirty. It's how we ride. Ride. 23s, drop top, candy, however you want it. Big boy, small boy, whatever.
Florida naturally lends itself to the low-riding culture. Its recent economic boom has built endless miles of strip malls and asphalt, perfect for slow cruising in the warm weather. South Florida's reputation of being a sexy tourist attraction continues to help the sport soar.
We represent Lauderdale.
Pony boys.
Kenny Lewis takes us through one of South Florida's many underprivileged neighborhoods. Out here, Kenny is a superstar, but his custom 87 Caprice is a legend.
Yeah. They bringing them up from Dade and stuff.
I seen this one here on East Coast Riders on that DVD.
Yeah.
I seen this bitch here.
We keep it at the shop mostly.
Yeah, no.
We try to keep it hidden.
Hey, there. Look at this shit, bro. We all on video right now.
I used to work at a shop and sandblasted there, car frames and stuff. And a guy had a 78 pickup truck from Cali. He was originally from Cali and it had one pump in it to the front. He used to move it up and down. It was the greatest thing I ever seen. I was like 14. One time for Lauderdale, dog.
You got switches on that?
Yeah, it's got airbags. What up, dog? What up, dog? You need to come see me, dog. This is what we're doing, right over there underneath Davie Boulevard.
As Kenny cruises through these city streets, it is easy to see what he brings to their lives. He is part of the new generation of low-riding pioneers. His focus has changed to raising the cars rather than lowering them.
All right, big dog.
Kenny's had his shop for a few years now, and he's starting to you know, ramp it up. He's got a lot of cars over there. He's welding them up and lifting them. He does a lot of lifts, and still, you know, of course, hydraulics and, you know, body drops and lowering and stuff like that. He's doing it. He's one of the big dogs down here in Florida.
Anything you want to a car. Paint, body, engine, anything.
Really? And you feel that comfortable with it?
Yeah. Up to your waist. Yeah, it's big, so it eats a lot more gas now since I lifted it up.
4 box Chevy, 1988, custom suspension, custom brakes, custom front cradle, custom upper lower A-arms, custom steps, custom roof. We'll even make you a custom keychain to match your vehicle, bro.
I don't know, I really like Chevy donks. 73, 72, 74, 71, 75. I like those cars.
What is it about the car that you enjoy?
I like how long it is. Got nice lines. Right around there. I like 70s cars. I like 70s cars.
Kenny has strayed from the traditional hydraulic setup. He now applies airbag technology to revamp these custom classics. Tucked away in an industrial part of town, this is not your typical chop shop. Don't bother coming in if the word custom is not in your vocabulary.
4, and there's a piece around the radio, all the way down to the corner of the dashboard. Probably about $400 for the whole dash, and each door would probably be about $70. You can go to a junkyard and pick up a frame, you know what I mean, for $100, $200, you know, bring it over here. We'll start with the frame, do the frame first, you know. That's the best way to do it. A lot of these mini truck guys, they usually do frames and stuff. They usually start wrapping them. I mean, they're getting high tech now. You know, the guys with the lowriders too, man, they want nice setups, man. They want it to look good. They want chrome. They want, you know, paint to match. Probably right now, lifting, that's where everybody's at down here, lifting the cars up for the 24s and the 26s without cutting the fenders off and stuff. A lot of the older guys tend to want to keep their cars, keep them in good condition and stuff, so they do a little bit more to them and spend a little more money on them. So there's always in-betweeners, you know, people that want to do it, you know, just to get by, and people that want to do it right, you know. We try to deal with the people that want to do it right. A lot of shops don't weld properly, man. I don't know. I've seen, you know, I look at welding stuff. I deal in, you know, with marine stuff, you know, and I see welding and I see what people do as far as welding. And in our industry, welding is not a priority, and it should be, because it's the most important part, especially when you're altering these vehicle suspensions. Any material you could possibly want, we got. Any color. I mean, there's just ridiculous amounts. I mean, there's Fendi, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Coach, Christian Dior. Whatever usually matches their car. I mean, they don't care what the material is as long as it matches the paint on their car. If it matches the paint on their car, that's the material they want. Whether it's black and white, red and purple, green and blue, it don't matter.
What's your wife's biggest complaint about the car?
It doesn't hop high enough, probably.
Tell me about her desire to like get in your business and know it, and is she just as much of a fan as you are?
Oh God, she loves it. Whatever I want to do, not a problem. Build a hopper, build a hopper. Build a dancer, build a dancer. And she's got her own custom vehicle that she shows. Explorer truck, full interior, full paint, hydraulics. She hits switches.
Tell me what you have right there.
10 switches. I got front, back, side to side, seesaw, pancake, and 4 individual corners. 2-pump chrome setup. That's what you get.
Kids stay at shop with dad. I babysit and I weld.
Your kids and your wife, are they involved in your life?
Yeah.
How?
Every part of it. They come to the shop. My wife helps me with all the books. One of my daughters helps me all day, every day. She's there. She tightens lugs. She's 5 years old, and she's into cars like you wouldn't believe. I got one that's 7, and she's into Barbie dolls, stuff like that. My daughter made a picture at school of the kind of cars we deal with, which are all low riders. Pretty much most of the videos and stuff we watch are cars hopping or standing up or stuff like that. And that's her idea of a lowrider. That's what she draws in school. I'm sure the teacher told her that's not how cars are, but at this shop, that's how they are.
And this is a black car with purple rims and an orange top.
What are the cars doing?
Hopping.
Did Daddy get a trophy for hopping?
Yes. It's all gold and silver and big. It said number 1. The trophy said number 1.
Where'd he get that from?
He got it from the card show. Got number 1 at the Low Rider show.
In my car, hitting the back bumper.
Tell me about it.
Just basically gas hop in the car until it just buries the bumper, and then you're kind of gliding. And if you hit the gas, it'll kind of surf, and then it comes down, and you hit it again and go back up. Just the feeling in the car, bro. It's like just controlling a monster.
Remote car gatherings such as this is where Kenny gets a chance to test the limits of his creations. Out here, it is easy to see that control has a whole nother meaning. Bringing home the gold is not where Kenny's journey ends. He is cruising his way into the pages of history.
Cops. Yeah.
The cops, you know what, man?
Chips, motorcycle cop.
Honestly, the cops are not really. They're not too bad at it, you know.
I've had cops who've actually pulled me over, you know, and seen the car's got hydraulics. Oh, hit the switches.
I'm gonna keep the lights on and the sirens on, just hit switches while I drive next to you.
The car actually keeps me out of trouble pretty good because there's a lot worse things I could be out doing than, you know, three-wheeling the car, you know.
So I got like 9 or 10 in one time. She gave me a ticket for everything she could find.
One was a reckless driving ticket. You know, when you're hopping the car and you're doing like, you know, 50 inches on the front wheels.
It keeps me in the shop, you know, instead of being out, you know, partying or going to strip clubs or whatever.
They go too many for hopping.
From, you know, like driving through old ladies' yards and stuff.
So I went down and turned myself in for a driving on a suspended license, but
it's my mom's car. You know, just go ahead and call my mom and she'd come get the car. And these guys are like, well, your mom's not coming to get the car, dude. Your car's getting towed. We're not even gonna call your mom. We're gonna take all you guys to jail, you know?
Robert Espino starts his day early. He is the president of South Florida's prominent car club, Homies Creations.
Plan to go to work early in the morning for about 8 hours, hopefully, probably less than that. And then after that, head on back to my shop, do some more work on cars.
A father of 2, Presidente as his homies call him, must divide his time wisely between his dreams and his responsibility to his family.
Tell me pit. Yeah, just only 2 years old. Already got a big boo on her arm. Boo boo? Hurt? Go with Jay. Oh yeah, with Jay.
Life has certainly changed for Robert. Balancing his responsibilities is not easy. Perhaps one day his children will understand just how much honor there is in doing what you have to do in order to do what you really want. It's all about sacrifice. Robert knows he would be better off with a modern vehicle. However, Robert knows that keeping food on the table is more important. A grueling day job offers no relief to his situation. Only when the day is over does Presidente feel like his true self.
It's a 49 Chevy right here. Look at it. Batteries are dead. I can't do too much with it right now. It's a 49, a classic. You probably don't see those too much around. Here it is, just riding, sitting here for a couple more years. You'll be out on the road, hopefully. I never got time to mess with it. I ordered this car. I got it from Idaho. I looked through it, the old car trader, and I found it. And when it's 27, bought it over here, and it was just original. And then I just started juicing it up. It was original. It wasn't even like that. It was just white. And hubcaps. Put some baby D's on it, chrome engine, some bucket sweet, and it's just running pretty good.
Rene is Presidente's neighbor. He too shares the same passion for cars. Down here in South Florida, your backyard or your driveway is often your garage. Your tires and rims are your passport to fame.
Instead of having, 5 lugs to put the rim on, you have an adapter, with the lugs, with the lug pattern on it. You bolt that to the car, and then there's one big, either you see a spinner with a Chinese star looking thing, or they have hex nuts, they have diamond ones, that's like a pyramid. And what it is just a big nut that screws on and holds the rim in place.
Dayton's, 13-inch.
14x6 custom-made Hunter spoke Dayton's on 520s only. 14s, 13s, either or.
Like the white walls with the gold stripe around with the white wall.
713s Dayton.
14-inch Dayton's knockoffs. That's what I like.
We ride on 13, we ride on 14, we ride on 15s,
Or that Dayton's or some Luxor wheels. 180 spoke, gold and chrome.
I use 14-inch Dayton's on my car.
I don't care for the big rims.
The biggest ones I've seen is 26s on a car, like on a box Chevy or a Cutlass.
I had to buy 4 sets of tires just so that when my tires would run out, I wouldn't have to go looking for them.
Kurt Allgood journeys from Omaha, Nebraska to cruise the famous South Florida boulevards. Tired of the flat, landlocked scene of the Midwest, today his search for tropical paradise has come to an end. But his presence reminds us just how far the low-riding culture has spread. Kurt's 64 will require maintenance in order to make the long trip home. A pit stop at a local shop proves trivial. Kurt's rims are no ordinary rims. The fact that they are gold-plated means special attention is required.
The only type of hammer you're supposed to use on type of wheels, knockoff wheels, because they ain't gonna mess it up. It forms around the thing, so don't take the gold off. All it does is supplies the impact type knockoff.
As Kurt turns away for a second, inexperienced mechanics go to work on his tire. Our cameras capture the evidence.
I use a regular ass hammer. Tore up the knockoff, it bent it, the knockoff's twisted and both the edges are slanted and the gold is out. I gotta buy a whole nother one.
They didn't charge you for that, right?
What?
Tire and shit?
They charged me for all that.
Pay for it already?
Yeah.
Nah.
A set of new gold-plated rims often costs thousands. An added expense Kurt is not happy about.
It's on, right? It's on and popping. This how we do it in Fort Lauderdale, baby. The 954 represent Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, baby. And I'm Mr. Stay Tight. I got a Stay Tight Shiska bar at all times. $2.45, $5 chicken, $5 chicken and sausage. The best Georgia sausage you can have down here in Fort Lauderdale, baby. And this how we do it. All day, every day. Big rim, big tires. This is what we do in Fort Lauderdale, baby. If you ain't had it, you ain't seen it, hurricane don't stop. Water don't stop, baby. You got to keep rolling, baby. Like Jesus said it, baby. Stay tight with me, bro. Good and hot shister balls, baby. Fresh. And you can see the smoke. Stay smoking. Project Independent, baby. You better know it. Thank you, brother, man. And y'all just welcome to Fort Lauderdale. Stay tight with me at all time, baby. You're gonna see me everywhere. Everybody got their own hustle, baby. This is the way I do mine.
Each year, lowriders from across the US travel to compete at massive car exposés. They come to hop 'em, pop 'em, and drop 'em in hopes of placing in the top of their tiers.
Eddie actually got me to go to the first lowrider show. It was about probably '94.
Having a good time in the parking lot with people we don't even know. Half the people we never met before and never seen again.
On this winter day in January, Eddie and his homeboys have ridden far in their classics to this South Florida Convention Center. Flashy rims, perfect body lines, and sexy pin-up girls set the stage for the day's competition. They will be paying close attention to hydraulic setups, wild paint jobs, and lavish interiors.
I didn't even start the car in like a year or two. I opened it up, water, everything is fine, I started the car. And when I got to the car show, people just looked at me just like, you know, I can't believe this car's even here. Who is this guy? You know, where did he come? Did he drive from LA? Where's this guy from?
Homies Creations knows that tight chrome setups like this one is a recipe for a medal and maybe even some cash. Cars that make it inside for the competition are valued at $30,000 and higher, but outside, it's a whole nother story.
Pretty much get in the door, get set up, get your car off the trailer, however you bring it, get ready to go through inspection. They have an inspection. They actually have some kind of rules they follow. So go through inspection and stuff, and then they start calling them out. Single pumps, double pumps, trucks, and car dancers.
He's your new leader with 14 inches!
And after all judging is completed, it's on to the main event, the hop along.
Car clubs, a lot of them come and go. Most of the major car clubs are California. There's a few based down here. that are basically based out of California rules and stuff.
We're not about getting in trouble or anything like that. We work on our cars. We try to help each other on the projects that we're working on.
For most of them, I mean, it's about, it's about the cars. Come around, have a good time. We fix up the cars, go to shows together. It forms a family bond with a lot of people who, sometimes other words probably would never have ever met.
It's kids, groups of kids, and then they grow out of it. And they just don't have the money for it anymore. Or they decide to do something else with their money,
Our car club is like secluded where like Martins paints her cars, Hedas does the interior, my boy Robert, he does all the dirty stuff, the brakes and onto the car.
He was rebuilding his engine. We're over there helping him pull the motor out of the car, and then this other guy came in and did the engine work on it, and then we helped him put it back in. Nobody's asking, hey man, you owe me so much for helping you do something. It's like volunteer,
At first I was kind of iffy about joining a car club, but then I seen the way these guys live, and it was like, this way of life is great. How about I team up with these guys? And they threw my car in the game.
To us, everybody is a leader, you know what I'm saying? To me, you know what I'm saying, and for the club, you know what I'm saying?
If they step into the realm of low riding, it actually helps them realize they have to work hard to get what they want, and then when they've got it, they don't want to lose it. They stick together as a unit, they come out ahead.
It's all about each person got a car and each person got a talent, so we put all the talents together with the cars and we just make it happen. We make dreams come true. And we put the car together, and I went to a couple shows, won a few trophies. It was pretty interesting, it's like a family affair.
We all believe in our families. Our families come first. Because without family, you ain't got nothing in life, If you don't got the home life, the structure of love, you ain't got nothing, bro. We all have the same love for our cars. We come together and we do our cars up. We wash them. We wash our cars. Like if something needs to be fixed, we figure out how we can do it. We work on it together. Nobody's trying to sweat you for what you may be owing them or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's just for love of seeing your ride looking right.
The best thing about driving in this car is the hydraulics, and my dad hits a switch, and then if you look over to your side and you look out the window, you see all the people's heads turn. So it's real cool.
This is my 1965 Chevy Impala. Been working on it for about 8 years now. I've been in the game, lowrider game, for about 14 years. I just love the body lines on the 65 Impala. Always have the rear tail lights. They're round, they stick out, they're not flat. I just totally like that whole style about that car. I have 8 switches in the Impala, 4 pumps, old school lowrider pumps, 4 batteries, 8 solenoids, trunk pretty much paneled out, stock engine 327, little chrome on it, painted up, 14x7s, roadsters, knockoffs, 100 spoke. Got a nice mural on the trunk. That's actually the pride and joy of this car. Basically, I named the car Watched Over. It's a mural of my grandparents, both sets, on my mom's side and my dad's side, that's passed away. And I feel like they're watching over me.
The Chevrolet Impala, often the car all other lowriders are measured by. This 61 has been priced over $50,000. For Tramar, his 61 is his love.
I've had this probably almost going on 11 years now. I've had this one. It's like a marriage.
T comes to us from Iowa. Hard to believe Tramar found this perfect gem on a farm in the Midwest.
I went and checked it out, and he said he wanted like $500 or $600 for it. And I offered him $300. He took $300 for it, and we dragged it out of the ice. It was actually sank in the mud inside this barn, so it was buried about 6 inches in mud and like chicken shit and pig shit. So about 2 weeks later, it was Super Bowl Sunday, and we're
I called all my friends, called all my favors in for everybody to come pull the body off the frame. Took 11 people to lift the body off the frame.
The removal of the body from the frame, or what is often referred to as frame-off restoration, is key to repairing a lowrider's foundation. After all, pushing the limits of an automobile is what lowriding is all about. T's perfect 1961 Impala has come at a price. He has spent years perfecting it, welding, enforcing and reinforcing the frame, hunting down parts, painting it with base coats and glosses, and at times inspiring his friends who can't help but lend a hand. Tramar 61 has come a long way since the Midwest barn he rescued it from. It is fair to say that he knows every inch of his classic, inside and out. After all, he's been there through every minute of it. With 10 batteries in his trunk and a monster hydraulic system, cruising down Fort Lauderdale's Los Olas Boulevard makes for one hell of a ride. Within this South Florida storage warehouse is where Hondo, a member of Homie's Creations, keeps his most prized possession. It is his 1964 Impala. Hondo first began work on his car in 1987. It is still not finished. Under the hood, Hondo has an Edelbrock 750, 327 horsepower engine with a crane cam, split fires, MSD ignition, hooker headers. It has taken him years to perfect. The next step for Hondo is his interior. One day, Hondo's 64 will be ready for the street, but until then, it's back to the vault.
Alright, this is where I like to keep my car, locked up in a warehouse, so when I park it in the shed here, I like to disconnect my battery so when I come back the next time around to start it up, I still got a full charge on my battery. I can start it up and just drive right off. I ain't gotta worry about charging it. So right here I'm gonna pop the hood and disconnect my ground here. I like to just hang it over, make sure it ain't touching nothing so it doesn't get electricity going through it. I work driving a truck for a living. So I drive a truck 6 days a week and I come here Sundays and Mondays when I get time off to work on this. So it's been like a little project for a while now.
Beauty. Tropical beauty. Florida's downtown Miami is constantly growing. But just a few miles from Biscayne Bay Boulevard, pleasure, poverty, and pain are everywhere. Financial extremes are exactly that, extreme. Lowriders must understand just how easy it is to become distracted, Down here, there's no telling where you'll end up.
Like, it's kind of cool down here. People have like have like picnics or barbecues down here, and you get to clean your car up and take it out, and it's kind of like a mini informal car show. So it's kind of cool. It's not so formal like lowrider shows or Dub magazine shows, stuff like that.
Miles from the developed properties of South Florida. Miles from the flashy official car shows. Miles from the authorities is where today's underground battle is to take place. A remote airfield is where the stage is set for what should prove to be something completely extraordinary. You can't purchase a ticket and you will never read advertisement announcing its location. Today, at the Opa-locka Airport, it's strictly members only. As the cars arrive, competition is in the air.
Right now, all the different car clubs are out here, and they're all lining up and shit. This is the road, man. You look over here. It's the road that they're all gonna be going down, representing, hopping, skipping. Everybody's lining up.
Today, Kenny and his Cutlass have come to do battle with another car club. The crowd is not fazed. Kenny has been here before and understands what it is like to compete on foreign turf.
Just coming to have fun. Just coming to have fun.
His recently set world record has given Kenny supreme reign to the sky.
Keep it going. Yeah. Oh.
But not all street battles are fair. Kenny is at a disadvantage. His opponent has purposely removed both his bumpers, inevitably beating the Cutlass. Although his opponent may have climbed higher than the Cutlass, Kenny knows that his opponent's shortcut would never fly in official competition. As he hops away into the sunset, it is evident that Kenny just came to have fun.
My name is Orlando, and I'm from Brazil. And I like to surf a lot, you know. I used to surf, but when there's no waves, I surf on the bike.
Tell the truth, I lost my license. And then I have to ride a bicycle. So, you know, I want to ride something nice. Always involved with bicycle racing, mountain bike, BMX kind of thing. So I want something different. And then off those TV shows, you know, chopper, American chopper kind of thing, I started to think, man, you know what, maybe I can make a bicycle look like a real motorcycle chopper. And then I did, and everybody, oh man, stop, let me see, let me ride. Can I have a picture? It's fun. A lot of people talk to you, especially when you stop by the 7-Eleven. I love it. Okay.
Definitely not your everyday bike. You know what I mean? They took some parts off of a motorcycle itself, from the forks to the wheels, and made a custom frame. And it's like a chopper that you can drive.
Very white there, you don't see the nut. On the custom, you know, competition like that, all those little things is very important. Speed is a real motorcycle tire and a real motorcycle rim and a mountain bike hub.
The lowrider lifestyle often falls short of glamour and fame. Things aren't always as they seem. Most often, what we believe to fit doesn't. Adaptation is key, especially for Eddie, who has assimilated into this community through his hard work and dedication to the lifestyle. This is one of Eddie's 64 Impalas. The two are notoriously inseparable. Today, Eddie has found a replacement fender for one of his cars, but finding a way to transport it is only half his troubles. Eddie knows these classics can often be temperamental, but still forges on. Back at the Homies Creations garage, we are reminded that these lowriders weren't found or brought on a showroom floor. Rather, they were discovered and often unearthed in some remote locations or auto graveyards.
Right now I'm applying some airplane stripper to the paint so it takes the paint off without sanding it right now. That's what they use on the aircraft. Stripping before they paint them. And they're too fucking big for sand. And it came up with this chemical, so you don't have to waste all that fucking time.
Seeing his challenge through is what Eddie must focus on today. His tenacity and knowledge of his car has distinguished him as a leader in the lowriding community.
I remember my mother used to tell my older brother, I don't want you hanging out with that kid.
Eddie caught me out on the beach as one of the first lowriders around in Fort Lauderdale.
Who is this guy? You know, he's talking shit and loud, you know, and
Hey, man. Almost ready to paint. Hey, let me get one soda. And a Spider-Man.
Because I remember stories of Eddie. I remember seeing Eddie. He used to have this little motorcycle, a Honda. And we lived like right around the corner from him. And he used to speed down the street over this intersection, blind, without looking, houses on both sides. You can't see if traffic's coming, through a main road. And my mother used to sit there and be like, "You're never gonna hang with that kid." Tell him my older brother, and guess what? They were best friends forever.
Yeah. Might just go ahead and paint the whole fucking car, dude. Nah, look, it's kind of light, right?
Oh no,
Isn't it darker than that? Nah, way off. Yeah, dude, it's supposed to look like a Jag.
Eddie's just a crazy dude, man. I don't know what to say about him. You know, bringing everybody together. He called people all the time, you know, get you down here, ain't tell me what you're coming for, just come down, you know. No kind of explanation of why you coming or what you're doing here, just come, you know.
When possible, Eddie takes the time to show a group of young car enthusiasts how to change a bad headlight. It's obvious he is in his true element. Passing on the tradition is essential. Eddie knows it is the only way his culture will continue to survive.
11:57. Say 11:58. Okay, so now this is the low beam.
You don't have any more of those lying around?
Nah, I gotta go to the store and buy one. But I'm gonna go do that right now. Replacement for the original equipment. So let's see if it works. It's in a box. So we just get the wires like that. And let there be light. Okay. So we got a headlight. Okay. So now I just gotta pop this out. My first car that I actually purchased when I was like 15 was a B2200 88.
It was, constantly evolving. Every time Eddie came by the house, it was one thing, it was another thing. Redoing the stereo system, new rims, repainting the truck, redoing the interior, fixing something on the engine, changing this, changing that. Then he got to the hydraulics, and it was constant. The truck constantly evolved. And
Eddie, he's the mechanic, man. He's the one that came through that day with a breakdown. They calling it a breakdown. That's when I broke down, huh? So he came through. He was the one doing the dirty job. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that was there. You know what I'm saying? Changing the carburetor, the points on the carburetor, the cylinder noise. He's the one that, you know what I'm saying? He knew what he had to do right there and then, you know what I'm saying?
See what happened? Fat Rose supposed to bring the car to me to get it fixed. Fat Rose went somewhere else. And then I told Fat Roach she gonna have to wait till I get around to it. And Fat Roach said, today we got a photo shoot at 5 o'clock, so he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait on me, right? So Fat Roach put his shit in the shop. Fat Roach picked his shit up the shop, and it still broke down today. So I still had to fix it. And I'm saying he just spent $1,000.
He always means to do well. Sometimes he kind of goes astray, but he's, like I said, he's a helpful person. If he sees you, and as long as you're not approaching him the wrong way, which most people, if you don't approach him the wrong way, they're cool with you, and that's how he is. If he sees you and your car broke down, and whatever, he happens to be around, and he might not even really know you, but you might know somebody who he's with, he'll drop everything and come and help you as the best he can.
To these people, he's a center. He's the link. He could organize and bring everybody together, and get everybody focusing on the same goals and moving forward. I think he's just a wholesome person,
A trip gone bad at a gas station is just another example of how society can be unkind to these pioneers.
Hold up, something's wrong here. I got 18.8 gallons in a 17-gallon tank.
We got it right here. Make sure you put that.
Yeah, this pump just cheated me, man. Hey, we got a problem. I got a 17-gallon tank.
Eddie does not let the injustice slip by. Pride is something he and his low-riding culture are deeply rooted in. Mistakes in this game prove to be costly.
It's supposed to be 17 gallons, and I spent $35. So I need the number to
He pushes me a lot. I'm not the type of person that's a flamboyant person, but you know what? Once I get out there, you kind of enjoy the actual attention that you get. Even though you're not intentioned to show off, you wind up showing off because Eddie's egging me on. Do it to him, Bird. Do it to him. Do it, do it. I'd be like, I don't want to embarrass the man. Just do it, man. Just do it.
Often misunderstood, many lowriders slip by unnoticed in society's eye. But on the streets, in their communities, they are remembered for generations to come. Humble lions, all of them. The drive to drive the ultimate machine. A man as unique as the car he drives, which in turn drives him to drive harder.
Yeah.
what to do. And you know, there's always somebody